Pro Boxing fans, with me Fank Smith, CEO of Matchroom, your guy, Dmitry Bivol, with just another great fight against Artur Beterbiev. Everyone that I've spoke to Joshua, he goes, yeah, listen, let's get that trilogy on. I think a lot of people want to see it a third time, but let's talk about this fight. Your guy with a great performance against Artur Beterbiev. Just give me your thoughts.
What a night. You know, like, moments like that, what you're in the sport for. You know, like, sometimes I get sort of, I can't be arsed sometimes with boxing, but when you have a moment like that, the highs of times like that, when you've been on a journey. I was looking back to when our first fight with Dmitry Bivol was in Monaco against Trent Broadhurst in 2016. And then, you know, you've been on that 9-year journey with some amazing nights, you know, the Canelo night as well, you know, Ramirez in Abu Dhabi, and then, you know, the nights here, the first fight, which I believe Dmitry Bivol won. You know, I believe he clearly won that first fight. He deserved it. Didn't get it, but he got the opportunity tonight to right a wrong, and he did it. And what a performance! An even clearer, you know, win for him tonight. And I'm just happy for him because he truly deserves it. He's a great guy, and it's an amazing journey to be on.
I know it's early to talk about trilogies and everything else, but for Dmitry, you know, I'm sure you have a plan for him. Whilst the boxer doesn't like talking about his next fight, you guys sort of plot the plan for him for the year. What would be ideal for yourselves and Dmitry going forward?
Yeah, look, a lot of people, like you say, people talking about the trilogy. I believe it's 2-0 unofficially. You know, I believe he won the first fight again, and a lot of people have that same feeling. Hence why the rematch happened so quickly. So you know, it's 2-0. But look, it's two elite operators. It's a fight people would want to see again, of course. You know, another huge fight is obviously the Canelo Alvarez fight as well. At some point, you know, I know he's got his own path that he's on as well. You know, he's obviously fighting Williams Cole. Then talk about the Crawford fight after that. But he's in the sport for the biggest fights. You know, he wants the biggest fights in the sport, and that's what he'll task us and the team to deliver. You know, and yeah, like one of them that was always spoken about a few years back was obviously him going to 168 to challenge Dmitry Bivol, you know, to become undisputed at 168. He's not a huge light heavyweight, you know, he makes the weight comfortably. You know, people saying about cruiserweight as well, it's too big of a gap. He's not, like I say, he's not that size. But there's big fights to be made, but tonight is all about celebrating Dmitry Bivol and that moment becoming undisputed light heavyweight champion of the world.
I do need to talk about Joseph Parker and the performance that he put in against Martin Bakole. A lot of talk before this about Bakole being that tough operator, maybe 2 days notice, you know, how is Parker going to adjust, but he showed exactly what 8 weeks or 10 weeks of camp does and helps you. You know, fair play to Bakole as well, but what did you make of Parker's win over Bakole?
Yeah, look, he was always going to be dangerous, wasn't he? He's a 315-pound man. Yeah. You know, for as long as his fitness is there, it was never going to be peak Martin Bakole, was it? Let's be honest. But Joseph Parker took a risk, you know, because this is the bogeyman that, regardless of, like, if you're an athlete, you know, whether you're in camp, you should be fit. I'm not saying he's done 8-10 weeks in camp, although there was talk that he'd done 8 weeks in camp, you know, in various interviews. But fair play, Joseph Parker. I love Joseph Parker, good mate of mine. You know, like, I've worked with him, you know, not directly, but over the last 10 years or so, and he deserves these moments he's having now. He sets himself up for massive fights, you know. But shout out Martin Bakole though for taking that opportunity on short notice.
Your guy Shakur Stevenson with the win over Josh Padley. We spoke to Shakur afterwards and he said, "Listen, we asked him that tank fight. You know, what that has to surely be a fight very soon for Shakur because he's the best two operators in that division." He said he wants it, but how difficult is it going to be to make a fight with Tank?
If there's anyone that can make it, where do you think it is? It's here, His Excellency. You know, look at what's been done here with this fight. You know, the light heavyweight undisputed championship of the world has happened twice in 4 months. Like, it's unheard of, isn't it? So when you talk about fights like that, that is another elite fight between the two of the best in their division, two of the best in the sport. And you know, I think Shakur is one. You know, he needs to be in there and test himself against the best, and that's what we want to see. For too long, it didn't happen in the sport. You know, so fair play to him. Fair play, shout out Josh Padley as well, because he's another person who took a chance and also came out and gave it everything. He left nothing. You know, like sometimes fighters, you know, get opportunities and they don't leave everything in the ring. They don't give it everything, you know. But Josh Padley did, you know. So credit to him.
Final one, Callum Smith against Joshua Buatsi. Here, he seems to have spoiled the party because it seems like
What party?
Buatsi was.
It's the Callum Smith party.
I know.
It's the Callum Smith party.
The
not
collision.
Josh-
I know. The collision course for Buatsi and Yard potentially, but he seemed to have spoiled that party. And like I said, it is the Callum Smith party now.
It's never not been the Callum Smith party. Look, Callum, I'm happy for Callum. He again another fighter that we've been on like since he turned professional, and the family. You know, like the relationship we have with the family over the years. He just a brilliant performance from him. Fair play, Joshua Buatsi, because he kept on going in and he never stopped. But great win for Callum Smith. I'm so happy for him. And you know, people sort of thought he was done after that Beterbiev fight. But you know, Beterbiev is an elite fighter. But you know, great win for Callum Smith. Sets up some great fights, exciting fights. But as I say, shout out Joshua Buatsi as well, because he left it all in the ring.
I think the press conference is going to start, but
Do they need his real promoter at the press conference, or can they make do with?
I think he's in this. I think they're both in this. But thank you very much, Frank. Appreciate your time, mate.
Cheers, mate.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.